the 1st of January, 1944. Another new year has begun, and we find ourselves still in our hiding place. We have been here now for 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. It seems that our life is at a standstill. We are all a little thinner. The Von Don's discussions are as violent as ever. And Mother, she still does not understand me. But then I don't understand her either. There is one great change, however. A change in myself. I read somewhere that girls of my age don't feel quite certain of themselves, that they become quiet within and begin to think of the miracle that is taking place in their bodies. I think that what is happening to me is so wonderful. Not only what can be seen, but what is taking place inside. Each time it has happened, I have a feeling that I have a sweet secret. And in spite of my pain, I long for the time when I shall feel that secret within me again.
Wake up, everyone! Meet is here!
We've come to bring you New Year's greetings.
You shouldn't have. You should at least one day to yourselves. Well, you shouldn't say that. It's so wonderful to see them. I just felt the wind of the cold on your toes. Oh, here you are. And how are you, Margot? Are you feeling any better? I'm all right. You stuffed her full of every kind of pill there is so she wouldn't cough or make noise. Well, hello, me. Hello.
Oh, with my hopes of peace in the new year. Nick, have you seen Blue Sheep? Have you seen him anywhere around?
I'm sorry, Peter. I asked everyone in the neighborhood if they'd seen a great cat, but they all said no.
Look what Mink has brought for us. Okay.
A pig?
I'll get some plates.
Pete, you shouldn't have. You must have used all your sugar rations for weeks. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's been ages since I've even seen a pig. Not since you brought us one last year. Remember? Oh, don't you remember you brought us one just this time last year on New Year's Day? You'll never forget it because you had a piece in 1943 on it. A piece in 1944. Well, it has to come sometime now. Hello, Mr. Diesel.
How are you, Mr. Diesel? Here's a nice leafy. Now, how many of us are there?
None for me, thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Oh, please, you must.
I couldn't.
Well, that leaves us 1, 2, 7 of us. 8. The same number it always is. I left Margot out. I take it for granted Margot won't have it.
Well, why wouldn't she? I think it won't harm her.
All right. I just didn't want her to start copying it. That's all. Oh, and Mrs. Frog should cut the cake. What's the difference?
Frog's cake, is it? It's for all of us, right, Pete?
Mrs. Frog divides things better.
What are you
come on,
trying to
stop
say?
wasting time.
Don't I always give everyone exactly the same? Don't I?
Forget it, Curly.
No, I want an answer. Don't I?
Yes. Everyone always gets exactly the same. Except Mr. Von Don always gets a little bit more. That's a lie! She always cuts things! Please! You see what a little sugar cake does to us? It goes right to our heads. Here's the knife.
Thank you. Are you sure you won't have any meat? No, really. I have to be going in a minute.
Maybe Lucy went back to our house. They say that cats. Do you ever get over there? Do you suppose you could?
I'll try, Peter. The first minute I get, I'll try. But I'm afraid he's all of me.
Make up your mind. Already, someone's had a nice big dinner from that patch.
This is delicious, Pete. Delicious.
Church and luck to get a girl big like this.
Oh, I have to run. Turk's taking me to a party tonight. I'll have to
so silly to wear a fur coat at a time like this.
It's none of your darn business! Oh, and if you say one more thing, I'll break you!
Don't you dare mention you was mine! My father gave me that. You didn't give it to me! Let go of the blade!
Just a little discussion of the advisability of selling this coat. As I've often reminded Mrs. Vaughn, it is very selfish for her to keep this with people outside in such desperate need of clothing. So if you would please to sell for us, it should fetch a good price. Oh, by the way, will you get me cigarettes? I don't care what kind they are, get hold you can.
They're very difficult to get, Mr. Montauk. But I'll try. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, me.
Are you sure you won't have me, Mr. Growler?
Oh, I better not. Still feeling badly? What did the doctor say?
Oh, well, I haven't been to him yet.
No, Mr. Growler.
Oh, I've tried, but you can't get near a doctor nowadays. They're just so busy. You know, after weeks, I finally managed to get one on the telephone. I told him that I'd like an appointment, that I wasn't feeling very well. You know what he says to me over the telephone? Stick out your tongue. Oh, Mr. Frog, I have some contracts with me, and I was wondering if you could go over them. Of course. If we could go downstairs, would you forgive us? I won't keep about a minute.
What's happened? Something's happened, hasn't it, Mr. Growler?
Oh, no, really, Margot, I want your father's advice.
Something's gone wrong, I know it.
Well, if it's something that concerns us here, I think it's best that we all view. Oh, Mr. Frog. The children. What they've imagined would be much worse than any reality. Well, it's a man in the storeroom. Well, Mr. Frog, I don't know whether you remember him or not. Carl, about 50. Heavy-set, nearsighted. He was with us just before you left. Yes, he was from York. Yes, that's the man. Well, a couple weeks ago, when I was in the storeroom, he locked the door behind me and he asks, "How's Mr. Frog? What do you hear from Mr. Frog?" Now, I told him that I only knew the rumor that you have gone to Switzerland. He said he heard that rumor too, but he thought I might know something more. Now, I didn't pay much attention to it, but yesterday, something happened. He brought some contracts to my office for me to sign. As I was going through them, I looked up and I saw him staring at the bookcase. The bookcase that hides your door. He said he thought he remembered a door there. Wasn't there a door here? A door that used to go up to the loft? And then he told me he wanted more money. 20 guilders more a week. Blackmail. 20 guilders. Very modest blackmail. That is just the beginning.
You know what I think? I think it was the thief who was down there that night. That's how he knows we're here.
How was it left? What did you tell him? Well, I told him I'd have to think about it. Mr. Frog, what should I do? Should I pay him the money, take the risk on firing him, or what? I don't know.
Well, for God's sakes, don't fire him. Pay him what he asks. Keep him here. You can have your eye on him.
Is it so much that he's asking? What are they paying nowadays? Well, he could get it in a war plant, but this isn't a war plant. Now, mind you, I don't know if he really knows, or if he doesn't know. Offer him half. Then we'll know if it's blackmail or not.
And if it is, we have to pay it, haven't we? Anything he asks, we have to pay.
Let's decide that when the time gets here. This may be all in my imagination. You know, you get to a point nowadays where you suspect everyone and everything. Again and again on some simple look or word. I find myself suspecting.
It's a telephone. What does that mean? The telephone ring on a holiday?
Oh, that's my wife. I told her that I had some papers to go over in my office to call me when she got out of church. Mr. Frog, I'll offer him half then. Goodbye. We'll hope for the best. Goodbye, everyone.
son for this. Tripping over himself, I tell you, it's only a matter of time now.
Sometimes I wish the end would come, whatever it is. Long ago. Then at least we know where we were. How dare you talk that way? Think of how lucky we are. Think of the thousands of people dying in the war every day. Think of the people in the concentration camps. What's the good of that? What's the good of thinking of misery when you're already miserable? That's stupid. Anna. But we're young. Margot here and I. You grown-ups have had your chance, but we're still trying to hold on to everything. If we begin thinking of the horror in the world, then we're lost. We're trying to hold on to some kind of ideals, and everything, our hopes, our dreams, everything is being destroyed. Now, and it isn't our fault that this world is in such a mess. When we weren't even around when all of this started. And so stop trying to take it out on us.
She acts as if we started the war. Did we start the war?
She left her cape.
You left this.
Nate,
I thought you were fine just now. You know just how to talk to them. You know just how to say it. I'm no good. I never can think. Especially when I'm mad. That Doozle, when he said that about Mushi, someone eating him, all I could think was I wanted to hit him. I wanted to give him such a... that he would... That's what I used to do. When there was an argument at school, that's the way But here, in an old man like that, it wouldn't be very good.
you got it all wrong about me. I say the wrong things. I go too far and I hurt people's feelings.
No, I think you're just fine. What I want to say... If it wasn't for you around here, I don't know. I mean...
You mean that? Really mean it?
I said it, didn't I?
Thank you here?
You've got quite a collection.
Well, would it be like some for your room? Heaven knows we spend enough time in there doing heaven knows what.
It's easy. Another fight starts or another argument. I duck in there.
You're lucky to have somewhere to go to. Oh, his lordship is always here. I hardly ever get a minute alone. When they start in on me, I can't duck away. I have to sit there and wait.
You gave some of that back just now.
Ugh, I get so mad. They've formed their opinions about everything, but we're still trying to figure all of this out. You know, we have problems that kids our age have never even had before, and just as you think you could have solved it, something comes along and bang, you have to start all over again.
At least you've got someone you can talk to.
Well, not really. Mother, I can't talk to her about anything. Father's all right. I talk to him about everything. Everything. But one thing. Mother, he simply will not talk about her. I don't think you can be really intimate with someone if he holds something back. Do you?
I think your father is fine.
Oh, he is, Peter, he is. He's the only one that makes me feel like I have any sense. But nothing can replace school or friends your own age or near your age. Can it?
I suppose you miss your friends and all.
It isn't just. Isn't it funny? You and I. Here we've been seeing each other every minute for the last year and a half. This is the first time we've ever really talked. I think it's nice having someone to talk to. It helps you let off steam.
Anytime you need to let off any steam, you can come into my room.
You ought to be careful how you say that. I can let off an awful lot of steam.
It'll be all right with me.
Do you mean that?
I said it, didn't I?
whom we've got our ration books have been arrested, so we've had to cut down on our food. Our stomachs are so empty that they rumble and make strange noises, all in different keys. Mr. Von Don's is deep and low, like a bass fiddle. Mine is high and whistling, like a flute. As we all sit around waiting for supper, it's like an orchestra tuning up. It only needs Toscanini to raise his baton and we'd be right off in the ride of the Valkyries. Monday, 6th of March, 1944. Mr. Crawler is in the hospital. It seems he has ulcers. Pim says we are his ulcers. Meep has to run the business and us too. The Americans have landed on the southern tip of Italy. Father looks for a quick finish to the war. Mr. Dussel is waiting every day for the warehouse man to demand more money. Have I been skipping too much from one subject to another? Oh, I can't help it. I feel that spring is coming. I feel it in my whole body and soul. I feel utterly confused. I'm longing, so longing for everything. For friends, for someone to talk to, someone who understands, someone who's young and feels as I do.
No, Mr. Dussel, I am not dressed yet. Now, how's this? Or how does that look? Fine. You didn't even look. Of course I did. It's fine. Oh, Margot, tell me, am I terribly ugly? Oh, stop fishing. No, tell me. Of course not. You've got nice eyes and a lot of animation. Full hair. A little vague, aren't you? May I come in? Come in, Mother. Mr. Dussel is quite impatient to get in here. Well, heavens, he's been in here for the entire day. You're not going in again tonight, Peter. That was my intention. But we've already spent a great deal of time in there today. Mother, I was in there exactly twice. One stick at the dictionary and then 3/4 of an hour before supper. Aren't you afraid you're disturbing him? Mother, I have some intuition. May I ask you just one thing then, Anna, darling? Please don't shut the door when you go in. Mother, now you're sounding like Mrs. Von Don. No, I don't mean to suggest anything wrong. I just wish that you wouldn't expose yourself to criticism or give Mrs. Von Don a reason to be unpleasant. Mother, Mrs. Von Don does not need a reason to be unpleasant. We're go now? Are you asking me? I didn't know I had anything to say about it.
Listen for the chimes, Anna dear.
You know, back in my day, it was the boys who called on the girls.
You know how young people like to feel like they have their secrets. Here's one of the only places they can talk.
Talk? That's not what they called it in my day. Aren't they awful? Aren't they impossible, treating us as if we were still in the nursery?
Don't let it bother you. It doesn't bother me.
I suppose you can't blame them. They only think back to what it was like when they were our age. You know, they don't realize how much more advanced we are. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to bring you some more pictures.
These are fine. Thanks.
You sure? You just brought me some new ones.
Maybe later.
I remember when I got this one. I bet Yogi that I could eat 5 ice cream cones. We had just finished playing ping pong, and we used to have such epic times. We would finish up with ice cream over at the Delphi or the Oasis where Jews were allowed, and there'd always be a lot of boys, and we would laugh and joke, and I wish I could go back to it, even for just a few days, maybe even a week. Oh, but after that, I know I'd be bored to death. I think about life much more seriously now. I want to be a journalist. I love to write. What do you want to do?
I thought I might go off someplace. Work on a farm or something. Some job that doesn't take much brains.
You shouldn't say that. You have the most awful inferiority complex.
I know I'm not smart.
That's not true. You're much better than I am at dozens of things. Arithmetic, algebra. You're a million times better than I am at algebra. Oh, you like Margot, don't you? Right from the start, I think you liked her much better than me.
I don't know.
It's alright, everyone does. Margot's so good. She's sweet and bright and beautiful. I'm not.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I know quite well that I'm not a beauty. I never have been, never shall be.
I don't agree at all. I think you're pretty.
That's not true.
And another thing. You've changed. From at first, I think.
I have.
I used to think you were awful noisy.
And what do you think now? How have I changed?
Well, you're quieter.
Well, I'm glad to know you don't just hate me.
I never said that.
No, when we get out of here, you're never going to want to think of me again.
That's crazy.
Well, when we get out of here, back with our friends, you're going to sing out, "What did I ever see in that Mrs. Quack Quack?"
I haven't got any friends.
Don't say that, Peter. Everyone has friends.
Not me. I don't want to. I get along just fine without them.
Does that mean you could get along without me? I consider myself your friend.
No, if they were all like you, it would be different.
Peter, have you ever kissed a girl?
Yes. Once.
That picture's crooked. Was she pretty? That girl that you kissed.
I don't know. I was blindfolded. It was at one of those kissing games.
Oh, I wouldn't say that counted then.
It did with me.
And I've been kissed exactly twice. Once on the cheek by a man that I'd never seen before. He picked me up off the ice while I was crying. And the second was Mr. Koofus. It's a friend of Father's. He kissed me right here on the hand. Well, I wouldn't say that those counted. Would you?
I wouldn't say so.
You know, I know for certain that Margaret would never let anybody kiss her unless she was engaged or something. And I'm quite sure that Mother never touched a man before him, but I don't know. Everything is so hard right now. With everything falling around your ears, it's hard to think what to do, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. What do you think?
I suppose it would depend on the girl. Some girls, anything they do is wrong. But others, it wouldn't necessarily be very wrong with them. I've always thought that when two people love each other.
9 o'clock, I have to go.
That's right.
Good night.
You won't let them stop you coming?
You know, sometimes I might bring my diary. There are dozens of things that I want to talk over with you, and there's a lot about you.
What kind of things?
Well, I really want you to see some of it. I
By this time, we all know each other so well that if anyone starts to tell a story, the rest of us can finish it for him. We're having to cut down still further on our meals. What makes it worse, the rats have been at work again. They've carried off some of our precious food. Even Mr. Dussel wishes now that Lucy was here. It's Thursday, the 20th of April, 1944. Invasion fever is mounting every day. Meep tells us that people outside talk of nothing else. For myself, life has become much more pleasant. I often go to Peter's room after supper. Oh, don't think I'm in love, because I'm not. But it does make life more bearable. Well, to have someone with whom you can exchange views. No more tonight. P.S. I must be honest. I must confess that I actually live for the next meeting. Is there anything lovelier than to sit under the skylight and to feel the sun on your cheeks and have a darling boy in your arms? I admit now that I am glad. I'm glad the Von Dons had a son and not a daughter. I've outgrown another dress. That's the third. I'm having to wear Margot's clothes, after all. I'm working hard on my French, and am now reading La Belle Navernais.
Wake up. He's stealing the food. Where did he go? Otto, wake up! He's stealing the food. Help! Let go! Let go! Otto, help! He's stealing the food.
What are you? Give me that! Mr. Dussel! Mr. Dussel, get off! For God's sake, for helping Peter! Let go of him! Get off! Please, go! Go!
What is the bread? He's stealing the bread.
It was you! The last time we thought it was the rats!
Mr. Von Don, how could you? I'm hungry.
Hungry? We are all of us hungry. I see the children getting thinner and thinner. I've heard your own son Peter moan in his sleep he's so hungry. And you come down here and steal food that should go to them, to the children.
He needs more food than the rest of us. He's used to more. He's a big man.
And you're worse than he is. You're a mother and yet you sacrifice your own child for this man. For this.
Here! No.
Don't think I haven't seen you always saying the choice is fit for him. I watched you day after day and I held my tongue. But not any longer. Not after this. I want them gone. I want them out of here.
Edith, get out of here.
What do you mean? Just that. Take your things and get out.
You are speaking in anger. You cannot mean what you're
I
saying.
mean exactly that.
For 2 long years we've lived here side by side. We have respected each other's rights. We have learned to live in peace. Are we now going to throw all that away? I know this will never happen again, will it, Mr. Von Don? No.
He steals once, he'll steal again.
Please, let us be calm. We'll all of us go to our rooms, and afterwards we'll sit down quietly and talk this out. We will find some way.
No more talk. I want them out of here.
He put us out on the street.
There are plenty of must never come down here. He must never come to where the food is stored. We'll divide what we have, an equal share for each. You can cook it down here and bring it up to him.
What? No! No! We haven't done so far. We're going to fight over a handful of rotten potatoes.
Mrs. Frunk, Mr. Frunk,
Please.
Margot,
Hey!
Madame,
It's me.
At this hour?
It must be trouble.
Please, I beg of you, don't let her see a thing like this.
Stop it! Are you crazy? You're choosing all this big twist. Just look at that one. Stop! That one. Why are you crazy? No!
Stop it, everybody! The invasion has become! The invasion has begun! The invasion
Where?
has begun!
Where?
It began early this morning.
How do you know?
The radio, the BBC, they say the name of the coast of Normandy.
The British.
The British, the
British.
British, the
Oh my-
Americans,
The Americans.
all
Oh my-
of them.
Oh, thank God it's...
General I have to go tell Mr. Crowler. This will be better than any lectures. You should.
But what part of Normandy did they land me, did they say?
Normandy, that's all I know. I'll be up the minute I have some more.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Honey, what is it?
Please, I'm so ashamed.
oh, for God's sake.
Oh, Cooley, it doesn't matter now.
Oh, didn't you hear what Meep said, Mr. Von Don? The invasion has come. We're going to be liberated. Why, this is a time for celebration. To steal bread from children.
We've all done things that we're ashamed of.
Look at me. The way I treated Mother, so mean and horrid to her.
No, Mama.
No, I was awful and I'm sorry.
No, not like me. No one was as bad as me.
Stop it! Let's be happy!
Oh, Eve.
When I think of all the terrible things that I said, that I should treat you that way, our friend, our guest.
No, you were right.
Stop it! Stop it! You're spoiling the whole invasion!
We're all in much better spirits these days. There's still excellent news of the invasion. And the best part about it is, I have a feeling that friends are coming. Who knows? Maybe I'll be back in school by fall. But the joke is on us. The warehouse man doesn't know a thing, and we're paying him all that money. Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 1944. The invasion seems temporarily to be bogged down. Mr. Crawler has to have an operation, which looks bad. The Gestapo have found the radio that was stolen. Mr. Dussel says they'll trace it back and back to the thief, and then it's just a matter of time till they get us. And everyone is low. Even poor Pim can't raise their spirits. I have often been downcast myself, but never in despair. I can shake off everything if I write. But, and that is the great question, will I ever be able to write well? Oh, I want to so much. I want to go on living, even after my death. Another birthday has gone by, so now I am 15. Already I know what I want. I have a goal, an opinion.
Und wir dachten einzutreten entschlossen bis zum letzten Hauch. Dieses Deutschland, der deutsche Volksgemeinschaft aller Stämme, das Großdeutsche Reich, Sicherheit! Sicherheit!
There it goes again. The telephone. Do you hear it, Mr. Brock?
Yes, I hear it.
It's the third time. The third time in quick succession. It's a signal. I tell you it's me trying to get us. Some reason she can't Crowler is dead. That's the only explanation. He's dead, and they've closed down the building, and Meek's trying to get us.
He would never telephone us.
Mr. Fong, answer that, I beg of you.
No! Just pick it up and listen. You don't have to speak. Just listen and see if it's me.
For God's sake.
No! I have told you no. I will do nothing that might let anyone know that we are in this building.
Mr. Fong is right.
There's no need to tell us whose side you're on. I believe if we wait patiently, quietly, help will come.
I'm going down.
No, you're not. No.
Too late. So I guess we just wait here until we die.
I can't stand it. I'll kill myself.
Stop it, please.
I think you'd be happy if I did. I think you'd want me to die.
Whose fault is that we're here? We can be somewhere safe, like America or Switzerland. But no, you can leave what I wanted. You can leave your things. You can leave your precious furniture.
Don't touch me.
until it seems our stay here is over. They're waiting for us now. They've allowed us 5 minutes to get our things, and we can each take a bag and whatever it will hold of clothing. Nothing else. So, dear diary, that means I must leave you behind. Goodbye for a while. P.S. Please, me or Mr. Crowler or anyone else, if you should find this diary, will you please keep it safe for me, because someday I hope.
Business to find out how they knew. It was the thief. It was the thief that told them. It seems so strange to say this. Anyone could be happy in a concentration camp. Anna was happy in the camp in Holland where they first took us. After 2 years of being shut up in these rooms, she could be out in the sunshine and fresh air that she loved. The news of the war was good. British and Americans came sweeping through France. We were sure that they would get to us in time. In September, we were told that we were to be shipped to Poland, the men to one camp, the women to another. I went to Auschwitz. They went to Belsen. In January, we were freed. The few of us who were left. The war was not yet over, so it took us a long time to get home. Every time our train would stop, at a siding or a crossing, we'd all get out and go from group to group. Where were you? Were you in Belsen? At Buchenwald? At Mauthausen? Is it possible that you knew my wife? Did you ever see my husband? My son? My daughter? That's how I found out about my wife's death. Of Margot, Von Dons, Peter, Dussel. But Anna, I still hoped. Yesterday, I went to Rotterdam. I had heard there had been a woman there who had been in Belsen with Anna. I now know.
In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart.